Happy Canada Day, crazy Canucks! I'm Unsilent and we're on the air with my Canada Day special. It's CrossCountry Canada. From 1991 by Dynatech Software. It's an edutainment game! I was thinking, what's a quintessentially Canadian game to do for a Canada 150 Canada Day special? And I figured CrossCountry Canada! Think of it as a text-based Euro Truck Simulator or American Truck Simulator, only not nearly as good and not nearly as fun. What a way to sell it. Well, you know, it's Canada Day. I figured, let's do something different. I like doing these little one-shot videos on holidays. Granted, the only other time I did it was Flat Out 3, the worst game on Steam. I'll put the card in the top right. This is just a copyright notice. Who gives a shit? This game is available on the Internet Archive, along with a whole bunch of other DOS games. Now, do you want to play a game that's been saved? No. This game is from, I played this game back in elementary school, actually. We had, like, the big old towers. Okay, I can't say big old towers because I think the tower for my gaming rig here is bigger than the old crappy IBM towers that we had, and the big old CRT monitors that took up almost the entire desk. It ran Windows 95 with some like classroom looking shell, and all the programs were on a bookshelf, and you had to go on the bookshelf, and this was one of the programs on it. It was CrossCountry Canada. So but we didn't have sound on, so I didn't realize that we were playing like do 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 do, like organ music from a hockey game on it. So let's see. What do we want to do? We want to start a trip. We want to change our options. What are our options? 2 players. No, it's just me. It's just me. That sounds sad. Press enter. Number of commodities. You said 4. So okay. And commodity table. Yeah, 0. Whatever. And press 1, 2, or 3. Let's press 1 to start our trip. Now, seeing as it's Canada Day. Oh, I have to type my name. Don't mind if I do. I'm telling you what I'm going to do for Canada Day. Seeing as it's Canada Day, what I have is a bottle of Canadian beer with me. I have a bottle of Sleeman with me. Now, if you're going to say, well, Unsilent, Sleeman isn't really a Canadian beer. Well, I mean, okay, you're technically right, but how many Canadian beers do we have? Like, Molson, you think, Molson, they have a beer called Canadian, right? But Molson's owned by Coors, Miller Coors, that's who it is. Then Anheuser-Busch owns the Labatt Group, and then Sleeman is owned by Sapporo. Drink a beer for the working man, and we shall carry on. We have to go from Whitehorse. We are starting in Whitehorse in the Yukon Territory, so we're about as far northwest as we're going to get in Canada. I'm going to impart a little Canadian knowledge for you guys who, don't know a lot about Canada, and we're going to deliver them to Fredericton, New Brunswick. So we are going from the northwest to the east. Not as east as we could possibly get, but pretty damn far. So our first commodity on our list is aluminium. Well, I guess it says aluminum, and it's supposed to be aluminium, but I say aluminium because I like to be poncy like that. So, we are there at that red dot over there. Now, since I don't have a cursor, if you look to the far right, you see a little diamond shape on the far right, I guess middle right of your screen. A little off-kilter diamond shape next to the, oval. Let's not liken it to anything sexual. Next to it on the far right, in the east, the little diamond, that is New Brunswick there. So Fredericton is in the southwest of that. Southwest, I think. So anyway, so we are there in the red dot at Whitehorse. I can never remember the names of the territorial capitals. You can tell this is old because none of it is on here. But I remember the name of the territorial capitals because one's Whitehorse and one's Yellowknife, and I know the Yukon one doesn't also start with a Y, therefore by process of elimination it is Whitehorse. None of it's easy. It's Iqaluit. How can you ever forget Iqaluit? Now, let's take a look at the map. We are looking for aluminum. I don't know where the hell you're going to get aluminum in Canada. So, you just type in get aluminum until you find it. I assume if we head, we have to head southeast. Oh, truck isn't turned on. Now, see, little trick for you if you're playing this. I remember playing this back in the day. So, you want to push T to turn on the truck and get that shitty DOS sound. All right, let's go southeast. It's too dark to drive without your lights on. Oh, well, then turn the damn lights on. Turn the damn lights on. Did I mention? Fuck you, game. Already you're pissing me off. Turn on lights. Good. Now go. I'm on a bumpy gravel road. Now I'm on a bumpy gravel road in the day. And we have reached Watson Lake, Yukon Territory. 1,600 people. Can we get aluminum here? Get aluminum. Well, isn't that in all that work? I don't get girt aluminum. Well, shit. I actually don't know where you would get aluminum in Canada. It's not exactly a common commodity around here, to be honest. Now we've reached, Fort Nelson. Now, BC's got a lot of trees and a lot of skiing as well. So we can see what we, we're just going to keep typing. Can I just, no, I can't just push up and it works. No. Just going to beep at me. So we're just going to keep going southeast until we find something. We're on the Alaska Highway in British Columbia. Okay. In Fort St. John. There is a St. John in New Brunswick. Now, St. John is in New Brunswick. St. John's is on Newfoundland. So, let's see. Can we get aluminum here? Of course not. So, we're going to go southeast to a U.S. TV teen drama. Oh, Hitchhiker. I missed Hitchhiker. You can pick up Hitchhikers in this game as well. So, yeah. Mile 0 of the Alaskan Highway in Dawson Creek. I just am typing lyrics to the damn song, and I'm already getting I have to find commodity. I have to find aluminum somewhere. So let's just keep going southeast. I am very hungry, and I found Grande Prairie, Alberta. Now, I don't know much about Grande Prairie. I can tell you Edmonton is a home to the Oilers. Also hosted an IndyCar race / Champ Car race for a few years. Fort McMurray just had a devastating wildfire there last year. Oh, I was supposed to eat, wasn't I? I am very hungry. What happens if I get too hungry? I actually don't remember. Maybe you die of starvation. Maybe you crash a truck. Whatever. So, I'm exhausted, I'm hungry. Can I just get some aluminum? Of course not. So, can I eat? I find Faye's Cafe. Your meal arrives. Pay $10 and leave. Eat, sleep. We were wakened by some traffic and fall asleep again. Wake up 8 hours later and in perfect condition. All right, suplex. Repeat.
Suplex, repeat. Suplex, repeat.
How about conquer?
Break the streak.
The one in 20. Oh, I can't do numbers. 21 and 1. Brock Lesnar. Just go southwest. Just go southwest. Cough split. Ah, damn. I'm out of gas. Get gas. Truck is not turned on. All right, call for help. Oh, wait. No. I know remember my red green. There's an international sign for you're out of gas and you need help. Up the hood. You can't do that. Get out of truck. Put up the hood. What's good in the hood? Of course not. You don't let me use an apostrophe. Grammar. I don't understand the word grammar. No, you don't, game. No, you don't. Call for help. The shortwave tow truck arrives and sells you some more gas. You pay 80 cents per liter. Wow. Now that sounds like a lot. Sounds like a lot to this game in 1991. I'm sure it was in 1991. I had to pay like $1.10 or $1.05 per liter of my last tank of gas, and I drive a little Ford Fiesta. So I mean, okay, so it didn't cost me $45 to fill up my tank because it's a 40-liter tank, but still. It's a pain in the ass. It's like, oh my God, 80 cents per liter? Well, shit. I just paid an extra quarter on top of that. So don't complain to me about 80 cents per liter. I'm buying this shit in Alberta, too. You know that? Oh, turn on the truck. They don't have provincial sales tax in Alberta, so it's even cheaper than what it is. Oh, and I have a flat tire. Punch the tow truck driver in the dick. No, you don't. All right, call for... Oh, wait, I can change tires, can't I? Change tire. With much heaving and straining, you manage to change the tire. Go on compensation. I'm from a small town where compensation is a legitimate employment prospect. All right, I cheated and I looked at a thing. Apparently, I gotta go to Prince Rupert. Nah, shit. West. U-turn when possible. Fuck it. Go. Apparently, we have to go to Prince Rupert, British Columbia. But we're already in Saskatchewan. Prince Rupert in British Columbia is off two provinces to the east. We can go 3 provinces to the... Or 2 provinces to the west. We go 2 provinces east to Quebec. Oh, Hitchhiker. I said we can pick up Hitchhikers. So we are going to pick up this Hitchhiker. Yes, what's the worst that could happen? See? He's a friendly Hitchhiker. He hasn't pulled a gun on me yet. Murder Hitchhiker. It's kill or be killed, damn it! It's a law of the road. You've got to make your own fun with some of these edutainment games. With a carefree wave, your passenger departs. Ah, isn't that friendly? You are exhausted. Well, okay, fine. I'll sleep when I get to... Ooh, Nika Yuko Japanese Garden. Is it here? Can I visit the Japanese garden? Visit Japanese garden. No. Turn on radio. You hear rock music. Actually, I don't hear anything. Wake up 8 hours later and you're ravenous. Well, let's eat. Oh, look, there's an Unsilent cafe. That's a really dumb name for a cafe. We got a delicious breakfast. You cross the Continental Divide and enter British Columbia. As you see the lovely mountains of British Columbia here. Up ahead, the Rockies do pass the relic, more on the border. You see how the border of British Columbia is not entirely straight. It is just sort of on a slanted kind of all... I was going to say jiggly, but that's kind of an odd phrase. And it's because the border follows the Rocky Mountains between Alberta and British Columbia. Yay, Prince Rupert. All right, so we're going to get some aluminum. From Generic Mining Company. Anybody planning to load something on there? No? All right, well, we're going to have to decipher a clue for our next commodity. This is a solid fuel made of carbon formed 345 million years ago. Canada exported near 2 billion. Oh, it's oil. Oh. A solid fuel made of carbon. Coal? Where the shit do you get coal in Canada? Saskatchewan, I would assume, right? Okay, I'm looking at the list. We can go to Cranbrook or we can go to Dawson Creek. Let's go to Dawson Creek and see if the song plays. Ah, son of a bitch! Arg! I've been wounded. Call 911. Nope. Call ambulance. Call doctor. I'll call help. Ah, god damn it, how can I keep crashing? I have to be the shittest driver ever. Call help. And I'm out of gas, too. I'm like almost out of gas. I just have to make it to Dawson Creek. God damn it, can I have good luck playing this game? Change the damn tire. Let's keep going. I'm gonna run it. Hey, I made it. I'm on fumes, but I made it. It's Dawson Creek. I don't wanna wait for our lives to be over. So, we need to get coal. Oh, the warehouse is closed. Well, we'll just sleep. You're awakened by a patrolman who gives you $20 ticket. Well, fuck you. Sleep anyway. See, I don't give a shit about some stupid ticket. Alright, now we can get some coal. If I can type, we can get some coal. As we reach the generic mining company of Dawson Creek. We're still in British Columbia, and we have to get all the way to New Brunswick, which is literally on the opposite coast. This metal is used to strengthen steel. Traces of it are found in plants and animals. Canada is the world's second largest producer. Is it nickel? Nope. Is it iron? What the shit? Okay, I remember inventory. Molybdenum. How do you pronounce that? I've never even heard of Canada being the second largest producer of that. Molybdenum. I've never heard of that before in my life, and apparently we're the second largest producer of that. Alright, I'm cheating again, because screw it. That's why. We're going to Kamloops or Prince George. I would have figured, oh, well, it's something to do with metal. You know, okay, Hamilton does a lot of steel. You got a lot of mining around Sudbury. But I'm also an Ontario guy, so it's like... Oh, so we're just going to go southwest Prince George. I said Prince George, right? Somebody actually has something on GameFAQs, like a list of where you can get this shit. And it's like, why would anyone put in the effort for, like, a 26-year-old edutainment game that nobody cares about? It was something, molybdenum, right? Hey! Rock out to the rocking tunes of, I don't know, shitty DOS MIDI music. Alright, when pressed, these plant fibers are used to make books. Over 7 billion was exported, so we want pulp. When pressed. Hemp! It's paper. Why didn't you just say it was paper? Like, honestly, I'm overthinking it, right? Oh, speed, not peed. You can't speed through these hills. I will be the judge of how fast I can go, game. You don't tell me how fast I can go. Oh, we've made it to Vancouver. I've never heard of bathtub races. Stanley Park, I remember that's where they had, isn't that where they had some of the Olympic stuff there? Vancouver did hold the Olympics in 2010, as you'll recall. Get paper. The warehouse is closed. Oh, well, and sleep then. We'll sleep it off. Restaurant called Unsilent. Must be kind of shit. All right. Now let's get some paper. Now we're just going to go east until we find our way to driving beside the Canada-US border. A good portion of the Canadian population is actually, I forget how much it is, like 90% of the population is within like 200 kilometers or 300 kilometers of the border or something like that. Other than like Edmonton, I don't think we have any like major population center in Canada that is outside of like a few hundred kilometers like of the US border. Whereas sort of America is built around like bodies of water, congregated around lakes or the coast. That's why I laugh when it's like, oh, coastal elites in America. It's like everyone lives on a coast. A lot of population centers are built on bodies of water. Rivers, lakes, oceans. Go look back at it, like, I guess seas as well. You look all around the world and people, I've been killed! That hitchhiker tried to kill me and I had to swerve out of the way. You saw him jump in front of me. Let's just call a tow truck. Have him take me all the way to New Brunswick. Fun fact, even though Saskatchewan is in the Central Time Zone, they actually don't change. They don't do daylight savings time there, so it's just the same time all year. So for half the year they're Central, and for half the year they're Mountain Time. Go figure. Only in Saskatchewan. Let's pick up the pace. We're going to get caught for speeding right in front of the RCMP Museum. No, oh well. Now, Regina, home of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, one of two CFL teams, one of two CFL teams that had the name Roughriders. One was the Ottawa Roughriders, and one was the Saskatchewan Roughriders. But one of those teams, I think it was the Saskatchewan one, Roughriders is two words, and they were also colloquially named the Green Riders. Whereas Ottawa Roughriders were traditionally red and black, and the Ottawa, I think it's the Ottawa Red Blacks is the name of the team now, actually. They tried to revive them as the Renegades for a little bit. Didn't go over well, so they revived them as the imaginative Red Blacks. Now, of course... Oh, for the love of... Slow down. You don't understand the word slow, but you do understand the word crash. No, yes you do. Yes, you do understand the word crash, game. You very much understand the word crash. You keep crashing me. And we've reached Timmins. Timmins is the home of Shania Twain. There you go. A little Timmins trivia. I'm exhausted. Oh, for the love of God, not again! Can we get a crash counter on screen right now? Thank you, future Steve. We've reached the capital. There's the Eternal Flame out front that you saw there. There's the Peace Tower, big tower on Centre Block. Centre Block is the home of our legislative assemblies, the House of Commons and the Senate. Our House of Commons is elected, and the party with the most seats in the House of Commons, the most elected by riding, forms the government, and the leader of said party is the Prime Minister. So it would be like if the most seats in Congress in America would form the government, as opposed to electing your House of Representatives and your Senate and your President all separately. But the Senate, our Senate, is appointed. So it's basically just a rubber stamp. Sometimes they will fight a government on stuff, but not very often. But yeah. I've honestly lost count of the number of crashes I've had in this. It is like a highlight reel of crashes. Like, this makes me and my racing game Let's Plays look positively tame by comparison. I look like the best damn driver in the world. Like, do I have to sleep or something? Is that going to, like, help me out? Oh, Montreal! We've reached Montreal. There we go. Home of the Olympic Stadium, former home. Here, at 1991, the current home of Les Expos. Le Canadien, the most decorated hockey club in the NHL, and maple syrup. I don't necessarily associate that with Montreal specifically, but sure, why not? Crepes covered with maple syrup. Well, we are in Montreal. The alternative was breakfast poutine. Now, I assume everyone knows what poutine is. I'm not going to explain what poutine is. Although I'm sure I'm going to get crap for saying poutine and not poutine. And we've reached Quebec City, the capital of Quebec. Now, I went to Quebec City once growing up and got to see the National Assembly, they call it, which is their parliament, provincial parliament. At that time, they had a life-size statue of René Lévesque. He was one of the driving forces behind the separatist movement in Quebec. And like 10-year-old me or whatever, like I'm not even 5 foot tall, and there's a picture of young me, like 10, maybe 11 years old, and I'm standing next to, I'm eye to eye, perfectly the same height as this life-size statue of René Lévesque. Anyway, let's go southeast. It's the home stretch in CrossCountry Canada. One more crash for old time's sake, maybe. No, we've reached the capital city of New Brunswick, Fredericton. Mission accomplished. There we go. Why did it play God Save the Queen? It's, Mr. Bonhomme there. The mascot of the Quebec Winter Carnival. They have a nice hotel there. Hey! Alright, so let's take a look at this. Let's see. We started in Whitehorse. We ended up in Fredericton. We took 9 days and traveled... Wow. We traveled almost 15,000 kilometers. So almost 10,000 miles divided by 1.6 if you're going from kilometers to miles. And we spent $1,200 on repairs. So, we crashed 6 times over the course of that. Holy crap. I'd like to say that was fun, but that would be a lie. The fun part was crashing over and over and over again. But, yeah, that is CrossCountry Canada. I don't want to say that it is a very popular game. The only reason I know is because we had it in schools, right? Do I play games to save? No. So we have to go from Winnipeg to Charlottetown, and Charlottetown being the home of Confederation. So then we have to get gold. I would assume gold is going to be in Sudbury, but... No. Okay, never mind. Because I'm a cheater, I'm just going to head all the way. Of course the truck's not turned on. We've got to... Well, then turn on lights. Jeez, silly game. We have to head to the Northwest Territories, or maybe the Yukon. I think the Yukon. God damn it. I still have a little beer left, so I'm still playing. Call the tow truck. Can we get the counter on? Just pop the counter on the screen, future Steve. Get gold, and we will... for the love of... fine, sleep. We'll get some gold. From the Generic Mining Company, Canada's single largest company and employer. Whoever owns Generic Mining Company is just rolling in cash. Because this is like, what, the third or fourth Generic Mining Company. You've seen this. This building is used for framing houses, is made in mills. Is it wood? Is it lumber? Well, it's going to be in British Columbia somewhere, of course. It's lumber. I don't wanna wait for all nights to be over. Oh, God. How many of these stupid accidents am I going to be in? There's got to be a shortcut for tall tow truck because I'm just like calling it constantly. I'm going to hit double digits by the time I get 2 frickin' commodities. That's the worst part. It's like I just got to get 2 this time. And I'm just going to drive beside the Fraser River. I'm going to drive into the Fraser River the way this Let's Play has gone. This is the one stupid, short-ish video. And we've reached Vancouver, Canada Place, and all that. So, let's go southwest to Victoria. It will take 1.5 hours, cost $16 to go on the ferry. Well, why not? Well, occasionally they have decent music in this game. You go near the Gulf Islands. Thank you. Alright, so we could get gas in Victoria, but can we get some lumber? Now we're going to the lumber warehouse. A lot of lumber mills and whatnot in Northern Ontario here. Bonus dispatch. Get $300 off your gas bill if you pick up coal. Does anybody remember where you picked up coal? Screw it. I don't need to save any money on my gas bill. I need to save money on my repair bill. Now that's where I need to save. Oh my God! How prophetic was that? I have to be the worst truck driver in the world. When I actually play Euro Truck Simulator, I am nowhere near this bad. Mostly because it actually costs money, okay? It probably feels a lot worse when you wreck into someone else's car. At a certain point, I usually just plow through people and say, "Fuck your rules, man!" Just plow through people. I assume I keep running into deer or something like that. I think we're up to double digits now.
10.
How do I keep crashing? I'm single-handedly keeping the entire tow truck industry of Canada in business. I get the feeling like this version of the game was sponsored by CAA. Get CAA so that way you always have a tow truck available. Fine, just go to sleep. Caution, watch for deer, watch for me. I'm the one crashing into damn near everything. Hey, it's Timmins! Have I ever mentioned that this is the hometown of Shania Twain? And we're out of gas. Out of gas. Then I get in a crash. Made it to New Brunswick. Can we get to Charlottetown without crashing again? Alright, one more ferry ride, and hopefully it drops us off right in Charlottetown, because if we crash again, I'm just abandoning the truck. Yeah, we've hit... Oh, Summerside. Oh, God. We've got one more trip. Can we go southeast to Charlottetown without crashing? Snow! Oh, God. Fuck it, go. Can't see very well. I don't care. Go. Okay, wipers on. Turn on wipers. Now go. Speed. And we made it to Charlottetown without dying. There we go. All the CrossCountry Canada you could possibly want distilled into one video. And this land was made for you to me. And we're going to the Quebec Winter Carnival again. Yay! Repair $1,400. So we spent $2,600 between the two playthroughs of this game. 6 commodities, $2,600 in repairs. Oh my god. Just throw the final damage total on screen, please. Yeah, that's sad. Alright, well, that's the dangers of driving Canada. This was supposed to be something a bit about Canada and Canada 150 and an old Canadian edutainment game. Instead, it just became me crashing a lot. Yeah, good times, good times. Alright, well, thanks very much for joining me. That's it, we're done. Enjoy your Canada Day, folks. I'm probably going to be having a couple beers on Canada Day. Canadian beers, of course. So I should probably run out and grab something from Microbrew. Properly Canadian. Anyway, thanks very much for joining me on this one-off Canada Day special. Thanks very much for joining me. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you're new. Share on social media. Follow on social media. The social media handle is Unsilent On Air, and that is for Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr. And don't forget to check out more of my videos. Some of them are on the screen and off on the right if you are on youtube.com. And until the next time, I'm Unsilent. Thanks very much for joining me. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.